All right, old school NBA fans, self-researched, NBA facts. Got another video for you. As always, thanks to anybody who watches my videos, subscribes to my channel. I really appreciate it. I recently just hit 2,000 subscribers, and I just want to say thanks to everybody who subscribes to my channel and watches my videos. I really appreciate it very much. I'm still a pretty small channel, but this is the one platform that it's kind of like it's ours. You know what I mean? Like the big media, they got all the money and the power and the influence. Is like, can we just have this one little thing that's just for us? You know what I mean? Like it's just crazy how how much power and influence and money, all that stuff that these big networks have, pushing an agenda and a narrative. And all of us talk about that all the time, through the comments and all that. And, man, it's been great, really. It's like, this is our little channel, and it's like, back off. Whenever I get those trolls, and I know a lot of you guys say, oh, don't worry about them, whatever, but it's just, what always bothered me is trolling in general. I never understood the value in doing it. Disagreement. I mean, there's people that subscribe to my channel always making good comments that'll disagree with something I say. No issue at all with that. But it's these people that get super defensive, and they come in for the sole purpose to troll your channel, try to stir things up. I never understood why there's even those kind of people out there. But you can only control so much. But I just always thought, like, this one little small channel, it's just for people like me, us. And it's like we can't even be left alone with this small little channel. It's like, it's just amazing. But again, thanks to everybody who has subscribed and watched my videos. I'm still in my first year, still a young channel. Hopefully, I'm going to keep making videos and all that. I really enjoy doing it. And all the all the research I do and the comments and the feedback and everything. I mean, it's just been great. I want to send a special thanks to, again, my man, Isle Sabag. Another super thanks. Golly, man, I don't know what to say. You're my biggest supporter on my channel. And, I'll never be able to thank you enough. I appreciate it. And the fact you get something out of it enough to donate to the channel, it means the world to me. It really does. And also, G the Great sent me one too. And again, thank you very much for your guys' generosity. I really appreciate it, truly. So, in this video here today, do a little comparison. We've all heard the narratives, the excuses, the whatever about LeBron James in the finals, how he falls short. He got swept twice, lost in 5 twice, lost in 6 twice, and then won 2 7-game series to win those championships. He's got the bubble ring, the strike shortened year in 2012. We know about all this, okay. But something I found very interesting was when I compared the overall result of the Minneapolis/LA Lakers, basically the 60s, but it covered 1959 to 1970. So that's basically the Elgin Baylor era. However, in 1965, Elgin Baylor did not play in the finals that year. But when you compare the two, it's very, very similar. And I'm talking about overall wins, win differential. It's amazing how close these two teams are. Not teams, but LeBron James, how these two players are, I guess you could say. And the Elgin Baylor never won a championship. So it's like, well, how could they be close? LeBron James won 4. He won 4 out of 10. Elgin Baylor was 0 for 7 because he didn't play in the ones, but there was 8 finals in here. And it's amazing how close it is. I'm going to get into it. Okay. So, Elgin Baylor, first finals was in 1959. They had a 33-39 record. They upset St. Louis, who was actually the defending world champions in 58. Well, they played Boston in the finals. Boston was a 52-20 team, and Minneapolis was a 33-39 team. I mean, that's just a huge win disparity. And people talk about, the win disparities between Cleveland in, the 2010s to Golden State and all that. Nothing like that. No, there was no 19 win disparity. I think the biggest one was 16. But they did not have Jerry West yet, the Lakers. All right? So they got swept 4-0. In the series, the total points that the Lakers scored was 446. Boston scored 487. That's a difference of 41. So that's a point differential of 10.25 that the Lakers got outscored. But again, this is a 33-win team. They're 6 games under 500. Okay? So, this is Boston, the biggest dynasty in North American sports history. So, when this video is over, I don't want to hear any LeBron fans talk about, Boston. Da, da, da. You guys always say how easy it was for Boston to win championships, and they had all these Hall of Famers. They're the best team by far, blah, blah, blah. Okay, then keep that exact same energy and momentum while I'm doing this video. That's what I want. Okay, so in 1962, the next time the Lakers are in the finals, they have Jerry West now. They're a 54-26 team. They're pretty good. Boston is 60-20. Boston wins 4-3, narrowly escaping. Actually, the Lakers maybe could have won this series. It was a last-second shot by Rudy LaRue. So I just can never remember that guy's name. Anyway, he missed the baseline jumper, or they may have even beaten Boston. The point differential in the 7 games was only 29 points. That's an average of 4.14 points per series, per game in the series. So that's pretty good. That means the Lakers were very competitive, and they were not loaded with all the Hall of Famers. In 1962, they would have trotted out Bob Cousy. I think Bill Sharman was gone, but they would have had Sam Jones as the 2 guard. They would have had, definitely Frank Ramsey was still there. I think Sharman was still there, actually. Tom Heinsohn and Bill Russell. I mean, they were a great squad, a great team. Frank Ramsey was on that team. Casey Jones is now on the team. Tom Sanders. I mean, they had a lot of great players, no doubt about it. The next year in 63, the Lakers are 53-27. Boston is 58-22. Okay? Lakers lost in 6. The Lakers actually outscored Boston by 11 points in the series. They're plus 1.83 points per game in the series. They actually outscored them. In 1965, Lakers are 49-31, and that's when Baylor was injured and did not play in this finals. Boston was 62-18. Maybe their best team. Either the 62 or the 65 team was their, probably their best team was in 65. Well, the Lakers at least got a game. They got beaten 5. They got outscored 617-554. 63 points in 5 games comes to 12.6 points per game in the series. But they didn't get swept. They had no Elgin Baylor. It was basically just Jerry West as far as like a star. Just him. And they still at least got 1 game. They were not getting swept. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. 1966, the Lakers are 45-35. Boston is 54-26. The Lakers pushed them to 7. They're outscored 825-802. That's a 23-point differential over the 7 games. Comes to 3.28 points per game in the series. So that's tough competition they're giving you. 1968, Lakers are 52-30. Boston is 54-28. Lakers lose in 6. They're outscored by a total of only 9 points. Again, they're very competitive. That's only 1.5 points a game. That's it. In 69, they now have Wilt Chamberlain. Boston is 48-34, and the Lakers are 55-27. Actually, the Lakers, for a change, have the better record. They lost in 7, but they did outscore Boston by 3 points for a .428 points per game in the series, so just under half a point. 1970, the Lakers are just a 46-win team. Now, a lot of that had to do with the fact that Wilt missed a lot of games. The Knicks are a 60-22 team. And anyway, the Lakers pushed them to 7. They're outscored by only 6 points in the whole 7-game series. That's less than a point per game, .857. So, in the 8 series that the Lakers played from 1959 to 1970, they were outscored in 6 of them. The Lakers actually outscored Boston in 2 of them. And one series was less than a point, and 2 other series were less than 2 points. And actually, 2 other series was less than 4.14, so we'd say under 5. So 6 of the 8 series was under 5 points per game. So they were very competitive, the Lakers. The only 2 exceptions was in 59 when there's no Jerry West, and 65 when there's no Elgin Baylor. Every other one, they're very competitive within 5 points of mostly Boston, and the 60-win Knicks in 1970. Now that is being competitive, even though they lost. So their record was 17 wins and 32 losses. They scored 5487 to 5644 if you add up all the finals. That's they got outscored by 157 points. In the 8 series, that's an average of 19.6 points per series, which comes to 3.27 points per game. So on average, the Lakers were losing by 3.25 points a game. Now that is being competitive against a superior team. It's not automatic that, oh, they're just too tough. They're just too good. I mean, come on, that's ridiculous. That's the excuses that LeBron fans use. And it's fine, he got beat. But stop calling him the GOAT and all this crazy crap. All right, so LeBron James, his first finals in 2007, they were 50-32. San Antonio was 58-24. Now everybody acts like, well, they were just so outclassed. A bunch of bums got drugged there, whatever. They won 50 games, so they couldn't have been that terrible. And San Antonio won 58. They were the 3 seed, okay? I mean, Phoenix had them tied 2-2 and had a real shot of beating them if they didn't suspend Amari Stoudemire and Boris Diaw. There could have been a real chance that Phoenix would have beat them. Well, they got swept. They got outscored in the series by 25 points, 347 to 322. That's an average of 6.25 points, okay? In 2011, the Heat actually had the better record, 58-24. Dallas was 57-25. Well, Miami lost in 6. They got outscored by 14 points in the series. It was close. Comes to 2.33 points per game in the series. In 2012, Miami won it. They were 1 game record-wise under OKC, so basically a wash. The Heat won in 5. They outscored them in the series by 20 points, which comes to 4 points a game. 2013, now the roles are reversed. Now Miami, or LeBron, has 66-16, and the Spurs are 58-24. So they're 8 games better than the Spurs. They narrowly win in 7 on a last-second miracle 3 to win the game. So what they needed was Kawhi Leonard to miss a free throw. They needed LeBron James to miss his shot, because believe it or not, if he would have made that, it would have been better for San Antonio because they would have had more time. So LeBron James misses the 3. Chris Bosh gets the rebound, has the presence of mind to get it out to Ray Allen, who's in the corner, who also has the presence of mind to make sure it's a 3-pointer, hits it, ties the game, sends it into overtime. there's a couple of very questionable calls, one against Parker, one against Ginobili, and I remember even hearing the announcers saying, oh, that's a bad call. They missed that one. It took all that for them to win a 7-game series, and they're the team with 8 games better. Well, when LeBron was 8 games under, he's getting swept. Okay. So even though Miami won the series, they got outscored by 5 points in the series. The Spurs actually outscored them. It came to .714 points per game. But it just goes to show you, even though they won, they got outscored. So when they're winning, it's not really convincingly. 2014, Miami 54-28, San Antonio 62-20. Now it's reversed. There's an 8-game gap, but it's San Antonio 8 games better than Miami. But the Spurs don't need 7 games. They get it done in 5 and mollywop the Heat. They scored 530 points to 458, a difference of 72 points, which comes to 14.4 point per game differential. That's the second biggest one in finals history. 2015. Now LeBron's on Cleveland, 53-29. Golden State is 67-15. They lose in 6. They're outscored by 43 points, which comes to 7.16. Okay? Well, just as in a contrast, the 14 win differential, that's exactly what the 1970 Lakers were to the Knicks, except for the Lakers, they didn't get beaten 6. They pushed it to 7, and they got outscored by only 6 points, not 43, like Cleveland did. 2016, Cleveland's 57-25, Golden State 73-9. Now Golden State's already showing kinks in their armor. Down 3-1 to OKC. They got pushed to 7. They narrowly win it in 7. And anyway, in that series, Cleveland wins it 4-3. They only outscored Golden State by 4 points in the whole series, which comes to just over half a point per game. All right, 2017. Cleveland's 51-31, even though you can pretty much from about 2015 or even 2014 on, the records don't mean anything anymore because of all the load managing. Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love, LeBron James missed a bunch of games. If they would have been there all year, they would have had a much better record. So the records are a little misleading. But anyway, 2017, they're 51-31, Golden State 67-15. They get beat in 5. Golden State outscores Cleveland by 34 points, which is 6.8 points per game in the series. 2018, Cleveland's 50-32, Golden State's 58-24. They get swept. They get outscored by 60 points in the 4 games. And Golden State was far from unbeatable. They were facing elimination twice to Houston in the Western Conference Finals. But anyway, 15 points per game in that series, which is the biggest win differential in finals history. All right. Last but not least, the bubble championship in 2020. The Lakers are 52-19. Miami, who's only the 5 seed, is 44-29. The Lakers win in 6, and Miami has injuries. I think it was Goran Dragic and Bam Adebayo. They get injured. The Lakers outscore them by 36 points in the series, which is +6. All right, so if you look at it, the Lakers from 59-70, they only got outscored by more than 5 points twice. 1959, when the Lakers were a 33-39 team, vastly inferior. And then in 1965, when Elgin Baylor was not there, they got outscored by 12.6. Every other series was within 5 points, and 2 of them, the Lakers actually outscored Boston. Now, in contrast, you look at LeBron. How many series out of his 10 was he outscored by 5 or more? Well, you got 2007, you got 2014, you got 2015, you got 2017, and you got 2018. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 of the 10, he's being outscored by more than 5 per game. Actually, it's more than 6 per game. But when you break it down, LeBron James's record in the finals is 22-33. Okay? The Lakers in that stretch is 17-32. Not really that much worse. And they didn't win any finals. No finals victories. They lost all 8 of them in that stretch. Now, if you were to take out the one where there's no Elgin Baylor, and the one where there's no Jerry West, and the one where there's no Elgin Baylor, they would be 16-24. The exact same winning percentage as LeBron James, 40%. But for purposes of this video, we're leaving that in there. Because all told, the total points in the 8 finals, the Lakers were outscored by 157 points. And LeBron James in his 10 finals was outscored by 195 points. The average per series, the Lakers 19.6, LeBron 19.5. About the same, right? But when you go by per game, the Lakers, who won no championships, one of them without Jerry West, one of them without Elgin Baylor, they were being outscored by 3.27 points per game on average. LeBron James was being outscored by 3.54 points per game in the finals. He actually, on a point differential, his 10 finals versus the Lakers' 8 finals actually got beat worse. And he won 4 of the 10 championships. Make that make sense. The way that I make sense of it is the Lakers were just far more competitive. Not just with, pushing it to 7 games half the time. 4 of these 8 were pushed to 7 games, and 2 more were pushed to 6. Not just that, but the games themselves. The Lakers just didn't get blown out a lot. They were competitive against a vastly superior team. Nobody's going to tell me that all these teams that LeBron James trotted into the finals, with Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade and then Ray Allen, all these in here. Now, 07, yeah, he didn't have that. He had serviceable players, but no, they weren't quite that good. All right, fine. 1 season. But the rest of these, he had Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love, and then you can say in 2015, well, he didn't have Kyrie Irving and Love, but he was up 2-1, okay? And in 1965, the Lakers didn't have Elgin Baylor. And also Anthony Davis in 2020, a top 5 player in the league at that time, won 4 championships, but he was so non-competitive in the other 6 that the Lakers, from 59 to 70, actually did better in the finals than LeBron James did on a point-per-game differential. Isn't that insane? I couldn't believe it. I was like, you got to be kidding me. He won 4 out of the 10. So that means he was so non-competitive and got destroyed in the other finals. And I don't want to hear about, they were just too good. You're supposed to be the GOAT, though. If your resume cannot stand up to criticism, to scrutiny, then you're not the GOAT. You already have 2 guys whose resumes are impeccable. It's just a ridiculous argument. And this finals thing, I'm not going to do any more about LeBron, at least I hope not, about this LeBron James finals business, because the fact is that he was getting, so lopsided in his win differentials with the 2 worst ever, 15 and 14, but also 6.25 points, 6.8. What was the other one? Just 7.16. I mean, he's getting beat by a decent margin in a lot of these series. And, in those series, and especially like 2016, 17, those 2 series in particular, he had an even matchup in my mind. Him with J.R. Smith, Kevin Love, and Kyrie Irving, the way Irving was playing in those finals, that was an even matchup with Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Kevin Durant, and Steph Curry. I believe that. I really do. LeBron couldn't lock down Durant very well for whatever reason, but, I mean, it seemed pretty even to me. So, I mean, in 2019, when Golden State played somebody other than Cleveland, even though Durant wasn't there, well, then you just go back to what it was in 15 and 16. They lost. Toronto beat them. So anyway, that's all I got for this video. It's something that I wasn't sure about, but I wanted to look into confirm it. But the Lakers, playing the greatest dynasty in NBA history, were more competitive on a point-per-game basis than LeBron James was in the finals. Now, please tell me that the OKC, Dallas Mavericks, Spurs, 2020 Miami, please be the idiot who comments on here and says that they were better than Boston in the 60s. Really? And then once you say that, well, then all your credibility's gone, and don't ever say a word again about Bill Russell. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, please hit the like button. That's it for now.